today on Sunrise Daily, and we're starting off with Lagos. Well, we did invite the Commissioner for Education in Lagos, Olayinka Olatunjoye, but she could not make it again today. But we're joined now by Adeshegun Rahim, who is the NUT chairman in Lagos. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much.
Has anything changed about NUT Lagos position on resuming on September 22?
No. We actually spoke with the government, and we told them, we reminded them of the meeting they had with the Minister for Education on what are those safety requirements and the preventive gadgets that must be put in place in our schools before school resumes. If those things are there, we will resume.
So specifically, you did ask for what? Gloves, water.
Yeah.
But at some point, I think it was not at that same gathering where Lagos State officials had said, look, we're working on some of these things, and so it shouldn't be a reason not to.
Yeah. A government official called me yesterday that they will be distributing some of these gadgets today. We have sent our delegations down there to actually look into it. If they are distributed and in the actual number, in the normal quantity, then we will call the head office to actually inform them, and then they'll give us a go-ahead to actually resume.
Is it just Lagos State that is saying we're not going back to school, or is it NUT as a whole?
Oh, get it very clear. Initially, when the federal government postponed resumption to October, some of us are saying that cannot resolve the issue of Ebola. It can't. Why don't you call a stakeholders meeting? The Minister of Education and Commissioners of Education in the states can never constitute what we call stakeholders in education family. There are some others too who must be invited, particularly practical participants in the system. Okay. As we will be vindicated, the date was reversed. But at the time when the date was to be reversed, they made an agreement that to actually prevent this, because the federal government, to me, understand that if they had prevented the situation from the beginning, the situation we are now wouldn't have been. So they said, okay, pupils, children are the most vulnerable. Okay, in the schools, provide these simple gadgets. If they are there, it will prevent the disease from coming into school. Because if a child gets it, it is going to be an epidemic. So it is those gadgets that we are looking into. What have you done? In Lagos State, the government have provided some have not been provided. They said they will provide some today. There is still time. Today is Friday. Monday is about 3 days away. If they are provided and in the right quantity.
Specifically, I was trying to find out whether it was just Lagos State teachers that were saying we're not going back to work. Is it NUT as a whole at the national level, or is it NUT, Lagos State chapter?
Nigerian Union of Teachers is one. Mm-hmm. The head office is in Abuja. Mm-hmm. The entire teachers of public primary and secondary schools are saying that when those gadgets are not put in place, where they are not put in place in their rightful quantity, they should not resume. It is not about Lagos alone.
Can you tell us specifically what these gadgets are?
Okay, hand gloves. So that, before now, the moment a child tells you in school, he or she is sick, the first thing you want to do is to feel the temperature. And the medical officials have told us that it is important that when somebody is sick, don't touch. Don't even move close until that person is certified to be negative of Ebola virus, right? So glove is needed. Health experts said that. Sanitizers for the children, whenever they go to toilet and things like that. Running water and soap. Then thermoscanner, infrared thermometer scanner. These are the things. And then enlightenment, so that we don't spread the fear that Ebola could kill, but we'll educate people on what are those things, what is it, and then how could it be curbed.
In all of this, which has come to you? Have you received any form of knowledge, training
No, government of Lagos State have done so many, in fact about 2 or 3, and some teachers in our schools have been invited for enlightenment. They have put up some science teachers in some schools, some physical education teachers to actually be desk officer in case there is the need for, for emergency.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned, sorry Mark, but you've mentioned quantity a number of times. One would want to know the number of public schools in Lagos State and what amount of the gloves or thermal reader that you expect to get.
In the public primary school is just a little above 1,003, and in secondary school a little above 500. And then when you talk of hand gloves, a big pack of it is less than 2,000 naira. It's less than 2,000 naira. And even if Ebola doesn't come to school, these are certain things that should be seen in a standard first aid box.
Definitely, the thermal reader scanner will be provided by the government.
Okay.
But what about the hand gloves? How do they run the schools? Does the principal have an impress from where he also can procure the hand gloves that are not that expensive?
The stakeholders meeting they had in Abuja did not actually stipulate that it is the school that must provide them. They said the government should provide. So it now be, I'm not a school principal anyway, I'm a teacher. And as a professional teacher, I doubt if government will say that principals should look into the impress to be buying this. Because the impress has headings and subheadings. Even the impress itself cannot say is enough to actually run.
So it doesn't fall within that.
It does not fall within the purview of no.
But was there a meeting between the Commissioner of Education with stakeholders like teachers, NUT, and several other groups in the state? And what happened there?
There was
the one we saw.
And the one you saw was the National Executive Council's meeting. The one in Abuja, where decision was taken. In NUT, that is the highest body that must approve of actions of that nature, particularly when it has to cut across the 36 states. So, but I think day before yesterday, the Honorable Commissioner called the meetings of heads of schools. We were there. We took on-spot evaluation of what are those things that are on ground in our schools. Mm-hmm. And we informed her of some other things that must be put in place before school resumes. And she promised that those things will be.
When, promises will definitely get, a date. Promise that when, because your union is saying on Monday, which is the 22nd of September, you will not go back to school. Yeah. And if she's trying to avert all of that happening, her promise was hinged on what date?
On Monday.
Okay, by Monday, you're likely to get all of that.
That all of that things being equal, that was what she said.
And you also talked about water, provision of running water, tap water. You say schools don't have water?
Let me appreciate Lagos State government, particularly His Excellency, that brought in a core project. It's a project where heads of schools, secondary schools, were given money to put in place certain facilities and equipment that the school need with utmost need. And this has brought majority of the secondary schools to sink boreholes. Those boreholes are spotted in stations. They are not in classrooms, probably with three running points, 4 running points, and the likes. When you say running water, is it that students or children will have to queue within these points? Or even what? Oh, let's even start by saying that even if there are even one point running water is there. But let me confirm that majority of secondary schools in Lagos State, they have that. Majority.
So all we need to do is to get the plumbing works and
those
all
schools,
the water
those
going
schools,
into the convenience. That's what you're saying.
Going into, convenience, or probably a way by which it could just get out. The traditional system of washing in the bowl, health expert says it is not good enough for washing.
And did you bring that before the Commissioner for Education?
Very well. And she said that they are fixing running waters into schools that don't have them before, and those that could not be fixed, that they will put in place an alternative of water tankers that will supply schools with water.